A narcissist is someone who makes you feel less than human. They are self-centered individuals who always assume that they are superior to others. They are the master manipulator, and being around them is toxic and can lead to various traumas and mental illnesses. Dealing with such individuals for an extended period may result in permanent trauma and psychological repercussions. This video will show you 10 mental illnesses you get from narcissists. Let's dive in. 1. Paranoia. Paranoia is a mental condition that causes people to be unsure of their desires. They couldn't trust anybody else, and they were also frightened of criticism. Staying with a narcissist puts a strain on your mind. They may use their manipulation strategy to abuse you emotionally. If it is used repeatedly against a person, that person may feel dread of being judged, indecisiveness, and difficulties trusting others, as well as fear of betrayal behind their back. 2. Obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD. Narcissistic parents have raised their children to be the best version of themselves as individuals based on what they designed. This upbringing may result in a child's OCD behavior, such as a fear of contamination, a need for order, a need for symmetrical things and formations. They are also individuals who have unwelcome thoughts of not being enough. 3. Complex post-traumatic stress disorder, CPTSD. This is one interesting topic. Being raised in a home with one of the narcissist parents might be difficult for the children. In most cases, narcissistic parents drive their children to be the best of all time to acquire their faith and confidence. They create an environment in which their child may be the greatest, and if they fail to meet their standards, emotional abuse may occur, leading to complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It might escalate to hypervigilance, nightmares, and constant uncertainty in their ability to please their narcissist parents. 4. General anxiety disorder. A person who has been exposed to a stressful environment for an extended time may develop general anxiety disorder. People who have experienced horrific incidences of shame, disappointment, and criticism are one example of this. For instance, at school, a narcissistic classmate may have tormented you for a long time, causing you to worry that someone would harm you, and excessive concern may indicate GAD. Some bullies are narcissists who use comparable weapons to attack others for personal benefit or the false belief that they are superior. 5. Eating disorder. You might be asking, is eating disorder a mental illness? The answer is yes. In fact, it has been recognized by the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or DSM, that eating disorder is a mental illness and has 8 categories. The tricky thing about eating disorders is that they are also very medical. Celebrities, for example, which is held to high aesthetic standards, may feel under pressure to lose weight. That is an area where many individuals are narcissistic and seek to bring someone down by insulting the importance of other people. To fit in with other people, a narcissist's view of losing weight will cause a person to develop an eating disorder such as bulimia, anorexia, binge, and others. It negatively influences the physical, mental, and emotional well-being of those who do not regard themselves beautiful. Remember that a person suffering from an eating disorder may have difficulties for a long time, and that overcoming this condition may take time. Therefore, we must embrace ourselves in whatever form we are in. We are all beautiful. 6. Depression. Depression is a common yet hazardous disorder that has resulted in the loss of many lives. It's genuinely a sensation of rage, grief, anger, and emptiness that can't be explained. A narcissist's involvement in depression is indifferent to other people's feelings. They do not assist a person in coping with depression. Somewhat, they degrade them. How long you were in narcissist, whether as at home or school, is similar to other ailments stated above. Friendships or romantic partnerships, the toxicity of these relationships may result in a large gash of traumas in the heart that cannot be cured, causing depression. Remember that a person suffering from depression is unseen. Some of them hide behind a pleasant, unproblematic countenance, and our words are as sharp as swords. So we must be attentive to the sentiments of others, whether we notice it or not, since their feelings are valid. 7. Borderline personality disorder, BPD. BPD is most common in the most toxic households, and some of the symptoms include unpredictable moods, anxieties, and worries. This sickness was created by narcissistic parents who abused their children for an extended period through emotional abuse, or, in the worst-case scenario, sexual abuse. It is a person's recurrent conduct. For example, a person with a borderline personality abuses their children mistreated by their parents. A person who felt mistreated by his parents and is in a relationship with a narcissist will share a destructive relationship. This will cause a person to be diagnosed with BPD, especially if the person has a condition of fear of abandonment. As a result, a narcissist will take advantage of that to purposely mislead the entire relationship and exacerbate the problem of the person who has symptoms of BPD. 8. Psychotic disorder. Abuse or trauma from other people is one of the reasons for psychotic disorder. It might be psychological or emotional trauma, and it can be intentional or hereditary. A person who suffers from emotional abuse from a narcissist may develop psychotic episodes if the violations continue for an extended length of time. Growing up with narcissists impacts a person's psychological outlook. It will induce tension, worry, or sadness, and if not addressed promptly, it will lead to psychotic disorder. It will cause people to disengage from reality, exposing them to hearing or seeing something that does not exist. It is a 1 in 10 circumstances, but it is true, so people should be vigilant and take good mental health care. 9. Panic attacks. Living in a toxic atmosphere, especially with a narcissist, causes panic attacks. Panic attacks are well known in health, but they are also common in adults who suffer from social anxiety. It genuinely takes over a person who has felt humiliation, disappointment, or wrath from a person or a scenario. After arguing with a narcissist who is blaming and gaslighting you, you may experience symptoms such as chills, sweating, high heart rate, and other physical symptoms for some time. These are signs of panic attacks. 10. Narcissistic personality disorder. A narcissistic personality is frequently inherited, but they are primarily created. A person who grew up surrounded by narcissistic gas will ultimately become one of them. They are the children who regard themselves as possessions for perfection and a treasure for self-righteousness. They are bullies who have instilled this conduct in others. They are trained to be the greatest and believe they have the right to hold the highest position. They have the trait of having an inflated feeling of self-importance, winning other people's adoration, and constantly being at the top of the list. It was caused by a traumatic experience of parental neglect or other forms of abuse. They also struggle with sympathizing with others, since they generally make the world revolve around them. The therapy of NDP necessitates a long period of counseling and self-esteem development. Contrary to popular belief, a narcissist is not inherently evil. They, too, are victims of a brutal world needing compassion. Do you have something to add to the list? Comment it down below, and we will pin it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the following video.